breaking news should be when the reset agenda is on course. There was another air bar and I said the air course trending news soon and they say Mahama ka say a former Pontiago for the ball the Ejuma show mun I was here what the to me hwehwemu ne hu ministry bia krono akoso niema o ma mismanage na abusu atim say abaya bi a yefra no Afua Gyasiwaa Gaisie utim say saa abaya we abra o mampanyi Mahama eba aban mu pe allegedly wo hwe a ofiri oman no mu na okenkan Hilary Maya okokọ social media no so e trendy ye pa na ne nyina sɛ ɛbayɛ American asɛm sɛ yɛfɛ no Afua Gyasiwaa Gaisie no wohwɛ a Mahama ɛba aban mu no wotu kwan na allegedly ɛne sɛ ɛyɛ former deputy na ɔyɛ former deputy ɛyɛ Ghana Shepherd Scholarship Secretariat ana mebɔ ne din Afua Gyasiwaa Gaisie na abusuani nyina ne sɛ yɛakye no. Yes, yɛakye no ɛwɔ airport Kotoka airport ne nyinaa yɛ Intelligence National Bureau BNI formerly BNI ɔmo ɛna akye abaya yi ɛwɔ International Kotoka airport ɔmo akye no wɔ Kotoka airport nti abusua this is one of the reset agenda bi no na kyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ maame ɔbɛ account for ne stewardship nti maame kenkan krataa mu no nyinaa nti ɔsɛ former deputy registrar of Ghana Scholarship Secretariat yɛka scholarship secretariat ne yɛka Asafo Gyei a ɔyɛ communication ma ɛwɔ Ashanti region Asafo Gyei ne ministry anaasɛ baabi a wɔdi ne dwuma no ɛhɔ ɛna saa asɛm no free ba. It was a former deputy registrar of Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. Afua Gyasiwaa Gaisie was arrested by the National Intelligence Bureau, not just Intelligence Bureau, BNI, formerly BNI. Was it shortly after arriving at Kotoka International Airport. That is abaya no esi free we mushen Kotoka ejina bia ho na BNI for eche no. Obi beka say na abaya we kura eba ne say na BNI for eche no. Yes, BNI for ne NSB do omo issue trackers There's a woman say abaya we currently she's out of the jurisdiction. Into all ben no say the moment say omo IP address and some information there. Omo monitor omo benti abaya be see what Kotoka International Port for Gaisie American asino or deputy scholarship secretariat Asafo Gyei wono na ali disa charge we amayache abaya ewo Kotoka International Port ni picture any details na da so yenko tie Kpandai nsɛm foforo a ɛkɔ Kpandai ni nyina no sɛ ɛno formally ye the letter comma electoral commission sɛ Kpandai Michael Nyindamonye MPBM na yenhwɛ ne nyɛ rera yenko tie nsɛm a mpanyimfo kuku da mo yedi nkɔmfa stay tuned
by 3,000 because the presidential the gap was so slim. If I don't know if the gap between Mahama and Kpandai, it was not that big. Mahama won by slim margin. 50.3. You understand? Yes. And when it came to the parliamentary, they won by 3,000 plus. So I told them, oh, if that is the case, if I am a candidate, I'm winning by 3,000 plus. And they say, oh, but you know what it is. They are the ruling party. They have what it takes to organize, and they also know. But let's go into the issues. It's a legal matter. The court has made a pronouncement. We in the CPP cannot go against the court's pronouncement. No, we will support the cause of the court. Until it is overturned, it is a matter. It is a decision that sticks. It's as very simple as that. Until they go to an appeal court and Supreme Court and it is quashed, what the ruling the High Court has given is what sticks, and that is what we all are going to obey. What is like for us, the CPP, to do is to go back to our central committee and decide whether in the rerun we are going to contest or not. That is for us to decide whether we will contest or not. But I was so much amazed with the level of errors and irregularities on the pin sheet in just 41 polling stations. How come that one pin sheet, we all have different figures on it? No, brother, it's not possible. One polling station, you have different figure. He has different, I also have different figure. Both NDC and NPP have different figure. You have different figure. It raises a lot of questions and alarm. So the judge said, if only 41 stations, and I can see all these errors and all these things happening, then I believe that there's cause for alarm. The 150 polling stations should be re-looked at, because I believe there are issues to it. That is what the NDC said. What the petitioner asked for is 41. Why do you give something the person has not asked for as a relief? Because the petitioner went to court that they should rerun the 41. But I'm not a lawyer. Are you not reading into the mind of the judge? I'm not a lawyer, but when lawyers are writing release, they add any other that the court would deem fit. Right. I don't know if you see that kind of writing. Yeah, so if in the knowledge or the wisdom of the judge, he feels that this 141, the level of errors I saw on it
might have a reflection on the
entire. Why not? He can give such a relief. It's within the lawyer, the judge's bosom to do that. So when I heard them saying that what the petitioner wanted, the judge has given him more than he wants, I say, I'm not a lawyer, but I understand this thing because I always see claims, he relieves claims, and they always add whatever the court deems fit. And if the court, in its own wisdom, it deems it fit that it can have serious implication on the whole kind of election, why not? And that is the ruling they've given. And rightly so, the clerk is just acting within his mandate that he has written to the Electoral Commission saying that there's a vacancy. The minority MPs are heckling him for nothing. He is acting within his constitutional mandate. Yes, because if the court has made a ruling and he refuses to do it, he can also be charged with contempt of court. That the court has made a ruling to declare the place vacant for a rerun, and you have decided not to write to the Electoral Commission. That can also be said to be a contempt of court. The other issue is that they said yes, they filed an issue at the Supreme Court, a stay of execution and also an appeal. And I said that so that matter is heard, they shouldn't go on with a rerun. And this is very simple. We've seen this severally played out, that when state institutions are performing their functions, you cannot just by a mere failure of an injunction. It is not an injunction that has been heard. You have just filed it. It has not been heard. That just by mere failure of an injunction, it should stop the process. You can't do that. If that happens, then everybody, when there's issues, they're going to pass a law in Parliament, I'll just go and enchant it. Yeah. Then that ends it. It doesn't work that way. Until the matter is listened to and a relief given, there's nothing that can be done about it. The process will go on. And other Supreme Court ruling have said this explicitly, that when state institutions are in a motion of doing their things, and there is an emotion which has not been heard, it cannot stop them or bar them from doing their constitutional mandate. So I don't see where the argument is with the elephant. They should just wait. The Supreme Court will sit on the issues that they sent before it. They will look at it and make justifications. In case the appeal also goes through and Matthew he wins, the consequential orders, it means that the seat, even if the election is held, it will still be declared null and void. So for me, I don't see any cause for alarm, because if the appeal goes through and he wins, and there have been by-election to even elect a new candidate, and the appeal goes through, the court will say that by-election that was conducted was null and void. So he becomes the MP again. So I don't see where the issues are. But, it is politics. It is politics they are playing. And from the onset, when the NDC started this case, some of us thought this case would not go very far. But we were surprised because we didn't really read the details of the case. Yeah. But after reading the ruling, I am convinced that if the 150 polling station pinches are brought here, maybe what we will see will be even worse than the 41 that was brought in the initial case. So for us, yes, we, the CPP, we respect the decision of the court. We will not challenge it in any way until a higher court of jurisdiction will kick against it or will quash it. We still stick to that decision, and it is for us to make a decision as a party whether we are going to contest that seat or not. Kpandai usually was a CPP stronghold, but now we flows are fighting to the NDC, but we will find a way. We will see whether or not we will give it a shot.
Right. Okay. So you come from the area.
In fact, he's the main architect. They are the main architect of this thing.
You come from the area. So my question has got to do with the way the chiefs are reacting to that.
Well, you give us more details.
Because I've heard argument about somebody is making that funny argument that, look, we shouldn't joke with the fact that now the traditional setup is colored. So when certain calls are made by certain traditional areas, we should look at them with double lenses.
That's right.
What do you think on that?
Yeah. So Kpandai again. I think last week we had a discussion on the issue of Kpandai, and I was only appealing to listeners that we should wait for the ruling to be written. Yeah. I mean the judgment.
Sure.
And like my brother said, we had the opportunity of going through the judgment. A lot more happened than what the public is aware of. Apart from the inconsistencies in the polling station results, what the Electoral Commission had, what the NDC had, and what even the NPP had, they were not consistent. the whole of the 41 polling stations. So in effect, there were a lot of inconsistencies. So that was one of the reasons. 2, the NDC agents were chased out of the collation center.
Yeah, okay.
You understand? They were chased out of the collation center. And if you look at the electoral rules, anytime the processes is being interrupted or is being deviated from, or there's an interaction in some of these things, it nullifies the whole process. So according to the wisdom of the judge, which was established in court, that actually happened. In fact, chasing out NDC reps at the collation center is an interruption of the process. And this was done by the NPP people. And last week we were also discussing this party people who, during elections, go to polling stations and collation centers too. This is more reason why we have to enforce the electoral rules during elections. Or during and after elections. Right. Because if you look at the Kpandai instance, it has been very, very consistent with the Kpandai. Anytime there's election, you will see the disturbances coming from the NPP side. And so, they are not always interested in the presidential law. They are always interested in the parliamentary. So from 92, they've never won Kpandai presidential. Really? From 92, if you take the data from the Electoral Commission, gazetted, the NPP have never won presidential in Kpandai from 92. They have always created problems. Wow. They've always created problems they are always interested in the parliamentary. Interesting. You see, and with regards to the interventions of the traditional rulers, if we look at our part of the world, especially around the Kpandai area, there's a lot of diverse traditional authorities because of the kind of the number of tribal tribes we have around that area. And so when I read the story, I wanted to know which of the chiefs had made that statement. Okay? Right. Yes. And some of these media houses have to do serious introspection of the reports that they put out there. But if you say the chiefs of Kpandai or the chief of Kpandai, the last time I checked, the chief of Kpandai was Nana Tosa. Oh. But the name that was there is just a chief of a particular community in the Kpandai constituency. And so that is not a correct report. Okay? So I think it's from the Balal area. The chief is coming from the Balal area. So that is just an individual concern he has raised. He thinks that he has witnessed so many by-elections. And at the end of the day, there are, disturbances. And so he's only appealing to government or electoral commission. Not to that's his personal, appeal. But it is not out of law. This is a nation. By-elections are national elections. And let me assure him and anybody coming from the Kpandai area that the national security, the police, the military and all those things will be deployed to protect lives and property. Will be deployed to protect polling stations. In the past, we have excesses. Yes, in every election, there are excesses. You remember the 2024 elections. People were shot at and killed. That was not a by-election. Yeah. So he's just appealing to all of us. When we are going for this by-election, we should do it with decorum. Sure. We should make sure that nobody is memed. You understand? There are no casualties. So his appeal has been twisted by some of the media reportage, and that's how it is gaining prominence on the front pages of the national newspapers. What I know is that these elections were rigged in Kpandai. My brother Martin Nyingam and the MPP rigged the elections. In fact, during the campaign, we visited almost everywhere. The MPP couldn't even go. It's just some of this branch. But our presidential candidate, our national chairman, visited every polling station. At least there were clusters. But the electoral areas, he visited everywhere. I was there with him and many other party people. Yes, that's the kind of work the national chairman did in the last election. And so, to say that certain polling stations that we lost, or we have lost certain polling stations, it is only revealing. It's not possible. And these are the areas they have always gone to create problems. Yeah. They are fond of creating problems. And this is just one of the polling stations. I mean, some of the polling stations they did. This time, we had put our cameras on.
That's right.
Yeah. May he rest in peace. The National Director of Elections and his team, Dr. Computer and Dr. Mahadi, all those guys, they did fantastic well. They provided security at every police station. So at the end of the election, when we review, we were able to tell that things didn't go well here because of our experience in 2024. And in future elections, we are going to even do more. And so the NPP should begin to build their party. They should build their party and stop this, rigging. I mean, it's of the old. Now technology has solution to most of these problems. And so, if, especially in the Ashanti region, if proper scrutiny is done to the elections that was carried out in the polling stations, you realize that they will be losing more seats than they have now. I'm telling you.
To what again?
They're losing more seats than they have now. Because we have subscribed to democracy.
Sure.
If the NPP has 3 seats, it doesn't deny Ghanaians good governance.
Never.
Okay? And so, they should build their party. Today, they are running after each other. And calling names and all that. Even, I heard their Deputy General Secretary yesterday running down the former president. It's unfortunate.
What?
But our party has always shown leadership. And so the rank and file of the party is committed in delivering their responsibilities at varied levels. And so this by-election, we are waiting for the outcome of the Supreme Court. But as we are waiting for it, like I told you last week, our plans are fast advanced on the ground. We are doing our work, and we know if the election is conducted today. Today.
That's sure.